Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the Good Skin channel. Welcome back to Good Cut. It's your girl Kay, and today I'm doing something a little bit different, tackling something of an issue that's different from the beauty content I do and everything I usually do on my channel. Recently, I was listening to a song by her. I'm gonna put this song in. I'm gonna put the link of the song in my description box, and then you guys can go listen to it because I don't know how much of the song I can put in my video, so I didn't want to play it. And the song is called Against Me. There's a part of the song, like when I heard the song and I heard that part, I kind of quickly went to Google because I wanted to know the lyrics. When I heard the lyrics of what she was saying, actually it rang a bell. It begins at that moment when she says, "To my women, with the utmost respect, intellect, we often forget and neglect. Intuition can see through elusive intent. Listen to it." I don't know if it's hitting you as hard as it hit me, or maybe, sometimes you go through stages in life and messages in songs are different for you and other people. But this kind of spoke to me a lot about the relationship I just left. And before I even begin this video, I just want to say to the men I've been with, the guys I've been with, this isn't about you. This is about me and my journey, and I'm sharing it with my sisters. I'm not trying to bash you or anything, because I think that the things that I went through in our relationship have to do with me and not with you directly. So if any of my exes watch this isn't about you, to be honest. I just wanted to put it out there. I'll say maybe of my relationships that I've had in my life, maybe 2 of them have been serious. Because I don't know, I'm a late bloomer. I started dating in my 20s actually, and I haven't really experienced much of relationships to say I've been in a lot of relationships. I wouldn't say that. But many times I have felt very out of place or very confused in relationships. And what I mean is, the people talk about red flags and like this thing came, or like I had a red flag, I had a moment, I had a haha moment, and people talk about all those things. But I think that they've been there from the moment that I've been trying to understand men. And for me personally, it's been a thing of, I'm not really feeling this guy, or I'm not really vibing with this guy. And with this self-enlightenment journey I'm going into, or I've gone into, I understand the thing about enlightenment. But I have felt most of the time like him and I, we're not gelling. It's just not making sense. But in the mind of the person that I was before, it made sense for me to make sense of it. I don't know if this makes sense to you. It made sense for me to kind of try to make the puzzle fit, even though this puzzle is not supposed to fit. So I would then be like, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel correct. We're not connecting, but I can make it work. I can fix it. I can change. I can be more, compromising. I can be more approachable with guys. I can be more flexible. He can't make it on our date. He stood me up. You know what? Maybe he was busy. Maybe he did really not have time. He couldn't really make it. He couldn't really cancel this with me. So I'm one of those nice girls who would be like, I understand. I have been very understanding in my relationships. And even when these relationships felt like it's not making any sense and I was confused in it most of the time, I wanted to unconfuse the situation. The latest event I can remember is last year. I was with somebody I was with for a long time, and we were having breakfast, and we were not alone. And I don't remember the conversation we were having, but I had this sudden feeling, like this thing washing over me, just saying, "You're not supposed to be here." Guys, I can't explain this feeling. I cannot tell you how it feels to be in that position. I remember I stood up, I went to the bathroom, and I cried my lungs out. Like, I was so miserable. I remember them or him coming to the door and knocking and asking what's going on. I just couldn't contain this feeling anymore. And I had been here for 2 years, and I keep saying to myself, why are you feeling like this? something is wrong. Why are you feeling so sad in your relationship? I remember being so moody, being down, feeling just like, why isn't he getting me? Like, I remember just trying and saying to myself, I'm going to change. I'm going to do things differently. I'm going to behave how he thinks I should behave. I'm going to change this about myself. And then when I change, then he's going to like me more. And then he's going to accept me more. But guys, that feeling never went away. And I've always been that person who says to my friend or my friends to trust their instincts, like that gut feeling, that thing that animals have out there in the jungle to survive. I've always believed that we have it as well. But I also always wonder why do we ignore it? We ignore it. The gut feeling, your instinct, that thing in you that says run, that says stay, you're home, or that says, I don't know, you're hungry. It's just like the way your body works. I feel like these things are in us, but we ignore them. And I think for me, the reason why I ignored them is because I kept saying to myself, he's such a good guy. He's a nice guy. I kept thinking about the future. I kept thinking about if we get married, if we have children. But also there was things that were always there, like ding, 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 like ding, ding, ding. I was fully in denial in my relationship, and I settled. I settled in that relationship, and I promised myself that I was going to make it work. And what I have learned from that experience is that if it doesn't fit, don't force it. If it doesn't make you feel all the wonderful things that you think you should be feeling, then this is not for you. And he broke up with me, and there was a lot of emotional roller coasters about after the breakup, because he kept coming back, and there was a lot of drama. But when it got serious, when he was trying to come back to say we should get serious, there was talks of marriage and stuff, I just stopped and I had my ha-ha moment. Every time I watch Oprah and she says, oh my God, I'm really gonna cry. When she says that you have that ha-ha moment, I had that moment when I asked myself, are you being for real? Like, is this really where you want to be? Is this the person you want to be with? Yes, you love them. Yes, that is this great guy and he's like this and like that. But do you want to be here for the rest of your life? And I knew in that moment, I couldn't settle anymore. And I was so mad at him for leaving me. I was so upset with him for leaving me. I was angry with him because I'm like, he gave up. I was working. I changed. I sacrificed. I gave up all this stuff to be in this relationship with him. But he gave up. Why did he give up? Why did he have the commitment I had? Why didn't he give me all these things? And it was this whole thing of, girl, he's not for you. And I think I didn't accept that until about 2 months ago. I didn't accept that this isn't my relationship until recently. And my haha moment has kind of, it has emancipated me. And you know what? I have seen this pattern with me because as I'm growing, as I'm going through my enlightenment, I have kind of examined my previous relationships, and I have seen that I have definitely been that kind of girl that's with a guy that she's not really feeling. I'm not really feeling this guy. I'm just like, there's something here that's not right. But I'm kind of like, no, maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. I'm the one who's like, who's got issues. I'm the one who's not like trying to understand him. I'm the one who's not compromising. I must compromise. I must make it work because I don't know why I give myself that responsibility, but I do. And after having gone through this, I can safely say that the next time there's a red light or there's a flag or a warning sign or whatever, I am absolutely not going to ignore it. And I want to share it with you because I have friends with who I've had this conversation. It's very easy for us women to kind of be in relationships we're not really fitting in because we're afraid of being alone. I was afraid of being alone. And I had this thing I kept saying to myself, if I leave him or if I tell him how I feel, what if I make the biggest mistake of my life? What if this is the guy I'm supposed to be with, and then I tell him how I feel, and then it messes us up, and then, you know, it does all these things, and what if he's the one I'm supposed to be with? But what I've learned is that if you're in a relationship you're supposed to be in, you shouldn't be asking yourself that. You shouldn't be feeling like that. You shouldn't be feeling like you can't be honest with this person because they will leave you. You know, you should feel comfortable to communicate your feelings and to communicate your insecurities to this person and feel like they would understand you, you know. But in this relationship, I remember trying to change a lot, trying to be someone I'm not, trying to be different, the way that I think, the way I dress, the way that I went about my daily life. I was trying to change it to fit in this relationship. And don't do it. Like, do not do it. If it doesn't feel right, if the puzzle doesn't come together the way it's meant to, don't force it. Walk away. There is so much in this world, in this life. You're not missing out. You're not gonna miss out, because if this isn't where you're supposed to be, then you shouldn't be there. You shouldn't force it. You shouldn't compromise on your happiness. You shouldn't compromise on who you are just so that you can be happy in a relationship where you don't feel like you should be in this relationship. I know the title of this video, I'm definitely going to call it what I learned from settling in a relationship. And this is what I have learned. And this is what I don't want to do again. It's to force it, to make it make sense. It's that I'm confused most of the time in the relationship where I'm like, but this isn't supposed to happen. This isn't the reaction I was supposed to get. This isn't how it was supposed to happen. And, you know, it also feels unfair on the other person with you in the relationship, because they can also be like, but what's happening? What's going on? But they don't know what you're going through because you're not sharing it with them. I really hope that this experience stops my cycle of unhealthy relationships. And the unhealthiness sometimes being caused by me, because we have to take responsibility for our actions. A lot of us are in toxic relationships that we create because we are in this space where us making sense of it, us forcing it to make sense for ourselves, kind of suffocates the other person, because you also go through these ups and downs, and then they're like, but why is she like this today and then tomorrow she's like that? So it's really unfair on your partner to go through these things. You don't share it with them, and you just keep quiet because, you know, you just don't want them to go. And I know now that this isn't what relationships are about. And we are imperfect. I'm imperfect. Everybody is not perfect. And I'm learning so much about myself, and myself that I am today, this afternoon, talking to you, is definitely a self that knows this a bit more, is aware of this, and is definitely going to be very careful with the decisions and the choices that I made. It was very hurtful and painful the way that it ended, and maybe someday I'm going to talk about that. And I think that I listened to this song because of the pain and the hurt I went through this relationship. But it's funny how this same song got me to this realization. And it's very strange because in the song she's talking about how men find it too hard to be faithful, too hard to be honest, too hard to be true with their partners. But then this same song, when I was listening to it, it got me to the realization that I had settled because I didn't listen to my intuition. So I hope you listen to this song. I don't know what message you're going to get from the song, but it really made me sit down here and make this video and tell you about this. This is quite amazing. Life is, the universe is, I don't know. It's splendid. It's fantastic. I don't know what word I can use. It has been quite a journey. And please do not settle in relationships. I am begging you. You are making the other person miserable. You're making yourself miserable. It's absolutely not worth it to do it. Please don't settle in your relationship. I really hope that this video, I made this because it's meant to go out to someone else, because I was really procrastinating, thinking, this is my personal life, my personal experience, my personal this and that, and do I want to share this here? How is the other person gonna feel? But this is my journey as well. This is my life, and if it can change someone else's life, then I'm gonna go ahead and share it with you. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with somebody. If it's the first time being here, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter as Kirkat. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I hope you watch this until the end. And if this touched you, please leave a comment below and let's talk about this, because I think that we are people that can help us heal each other. We are capable of doing that. So I do hope I touched on everything I wanted to touch on. Thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye.